Epitaph to a Dog by Lord Byron, 1808 is when this was written. When some proud son of man returns to earth, unknown to glory but upheld by birth, the sculptor's art exhausts the pomp of woe, and storied urns record who rests below. When all is done, upon the tomb is seen not what he was, but what he should have been. But the poor dog, in life the firmest friend, the first to welcome, foremost to defend, whose honest heart is still his master's own, who labours, fights, lives, breathes for him alone, unhonour'd falls, unnoticed all his worth, denied in heaven the soul he held on earth. While man, vain insect, hopes to be forgiven, and claims himself a sole exclusive heaven, O man, thou feeblest tenant of an hour, debased by slavery or corrupt by power, who knows thee well must quit thee with disgust, degraded mass of animated dust. Thy love is lust, thy friendship all a cheat, thy tongue hypocrisy, thy heart deceit. By nature vile, ennobled but by name, each kindred brute might bid thee blush for shame. Ye who behold perchance this simple urn, pass on its honours, none you wish to mourn. To mark a friend's remains, these stones arise, I never knew but one, and here he lies. Okay, this poem is by Lord Byron. He's a famous British poet. Let's see, he went to Harrow School and then he went to Trinity College, Cambridge. Anyway, this poem is an epitaph to his dog, which was called Bosun. Notice the different spelling and pronunciation of bosun. A bosun is an officer on a ship who's responsible for taking care of the equipment. Okay, and I think this is also known as the inscription on the monument to a Newfoundland dog. Yeah, and his dog died of rabies. And anyway, in the poem, he's talking about the difference between when a human dies and when a dog dies, and the fact that when a human dies, all their good characteristics, all the characteristics that they should have had, are remembered. However, when a dog dies, then almost nobody remembers it, and they don't remember his bravery and valour and things like that. So, when some proud son of man returns to earth. So, to return to earth, to die. So when a proud son of man dies, unknown to glory, but upheld by birth. So somebody who was born into a good family, but they weren't known to be glorious because they won battles or did fantastic things. The sculptor's art exhausts the pomp of woe. So they make a sculpture of this dead person, and they're very pompous and very formal, and they go through all the ceremony of woe, of sadness. And storied urns record who rest below. Okay, so I think storied urns, an urn is a container, and you might have an urn carved on a tomb, and the tomb talks about the person who rests below. When all is done, upon the tomb is seen not what he was, but what he should have been. I love the irony of this one. So when the person dies, the tomb where this person is buried shows what the person should have been, how they were expected to be, not how they actually were, because people never speak ill of the dead. But the poor dog, in life the firmest friend. So, but a dog, who's man's best friend, the first to welcome, foremost to defend. So the first person to welcome you home, and the first person to defend you, whose honest heart is still his master's own. Yeah? Dogs aren't treacherous, they love their master, who labours, fights, lives, breathes for him alone. So the dog, it works, it fights, it lives, it's everything is its master. Unhonour'd falls, unnoticed all his worth. So when the dog dies, there aren't great honours and a great funeral, and all his values are not noticed. Denied in heaven the soul he held on earth. So the souls of animals supposedly don't go to heaven. I can't understand this idea, but yes, the dogma says that animals don't go to heaven, only human souls go to heaven, while man, vain insect, hopes to be forgiven. So man, when he dies, he hopes to be forgiven all his sins by God and go to heaven, and claims himself a soul exclusive heaven. Yeah, so heaven's only for humans, and Byron can't see this. He thinks the dogs, a faithful dog, should also be allowed to go to heaven. O man, thou feeble tenant of an hour. So a tenant is somebody who rents a place to live. So he's saying that man only has a short time to live, and our time on earth is like a rental. And then he starts to talk about the bad qualities of man, debased by slavery. Yeah, so slavery is something that men do, and it still exists. Or corrupt by power. Humans become corrupted by power. Who knows thee well must quit thee with disgust. So if you know humans, then you must, when they die, you must think about humans in disgust. Degraded mass of animated dust. So, degraded, brought down low. So he's saying humans, they're only just dust, a mass of dust put together, which does disgusting things. Thy love is lust. So when you love something, you want to have sex with it, you desire it. Thy friendship all a cheat. So the friendship of humans is not like the friendship of dogs. Yeah, you're friends because you want something in return. Thy tongue hypocrisy. So everything you say is hypocrisy. You say things because you want to be well seen, but then you don't do what you say. Thy heart deceit. So your heart is full of trickery. By nature vile, ennobled but by name. So the nature of man is vile. Yeah, and you're only made noble by calling yourself a human. Each kindred brute might bid thee blush for shame. So kindred brute, all the other animals, might bid thee, would ask thee to blush, to be embarrassed, to be ashamed of who you are. Ye who behold perchance this simple urn. So if you see by accident this simple burial place, pass on its honours, none you wish to mourn. So pass on the honours of the dog, which are not like the honours of man, the good characteristics. Yeah, so tell people about the good things of the dog that lies here. To mark a friend's remains. So this Tomb is to mark the remains of a friend. These stones arise. This tomb is to mark where a friend is buried. I never knew but one. I only ever had one friend like this. And here he lies. Okay, so this is Byron's poem to his dog Bosun. Yeah, so enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Epitaph to a Dog by Lord Byron.